History is cruel to men who choose the wrong woman. That's the unspoken law every man eventually learns, some too late, standing over the grave of their own potential, wondering how their kingdom fell without a single battle fought. No one warns you, your mother won't, your friends can't, and society, it profits from your blindness. But Machiavelli, he knew. He saw what most men refuse to see, that behind every destroyed man, there isn't fate, or bad luck, or tragedy. It's the wrong woman, the woman he foolishly let inside his life. While the world sells you dreams of loyalty, love, and happy endings, Machiavelli whispers a truth most men can't handle. Men in general judge more from appearances than from reality. All men have eyes, but few have the gift of penetration. You're not here to be entertained, you're here to survive. And what I'm about to tell you, no one else dares to say out loud. There are only two types of women in this world, beneficial and destructive. That's it. No in-between, no gray area. She's either upgrading your life, or she's draining it. The harsh truth. Most women today have mastered the art of appearing beneficial while being nothing more than parasites in disguise. You can sugarcoat it, dress it up, call it love, but at one T, stop your life from burning down when you choose wrong. This isn't about hate, it's not about war. It's about strategy. Because, as Machiavelli said, he who seeks to deceive will always find someone who allows himself to be deceived, and that someone, it's the weak man, the man who feels before he thinks. So here's your first commandment. Never choose based on appearance alone. She might be the most beautiful woman you've ever seen, but if her mind is shallow, her values are rotten, and her loyalty is for sale to the next bidder, you're not looking at a queen. You're looking at polished poison. Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. Few men look beyond beauty. But the real man, the strategic man, looks deeper. He studies her patterns, her choices, her loyalties, her discipline. He watches how she treats waiters, how she talks about people who aren't in the room, how she speaks about her own family. Because the men who lose everything, they all ignored those small signals. You don't stumble into a good woman, you select her, you test her. You observe her like a general studies terrain before a battle." Machiavelli said it clearly. The wise man does at once what the fool does finally. Stop being the fool who learns only after he's trapped. You don't get to complain later if you ignored the warnings now. Now, the second commandment, never choose a woman who doesn't respect masculine authority. If she sees your strength as a threat instead of protection, leave. If she competes with your leadership instead of complementing it, leave. If she challenges your vision but brings no wisdom to the table, leave. Because a woman who cannot respect masculine order will bring only feminine chaos. This is how kings fall. This is how legacies die. You are not here to fix her. You are not here to save her. You are here to build. And building requires alignment, not opposition. Machiavelli warned that men who fail to secure their power soon become slaves to the very forces they once tried to tame. You think you can handle her drama? You think love will fix it? It won't. Because she already knows what you don't, that you've chosen her. And in that choice, you've handed her the power. Power is not negotiated in relationships. You either possess it or you forfeit it. Most men hand over their power in velvet words. Compromise, understanding, partnership, noble words, beautiful lies. Machiavelli was ruthless about this illusion. It is much safer to be feared than loved, if you must choose between the two, because love without respect is slavery with a smile. The man who lets a woman rule him in the name of peace is no king. He's a puppet with a tin crown, while his kingdom rots behind closed doors. So, you want to know who she really is? Test her reaction to your boundaries. Tell her no. Watch what happens. Take away her access to your time, your money, your attention, and listen to the silence that follows. Will she respect your distance, or will she manipulate you back with tears, guilt, and empty promises? See, most women today have been trained by a weak society to believe that men exist to serve their emotions. And most men, desperate to keep the peace, serve on their knees. But you're not most men. Not after hearing this, your third commandment. Watch how she handles boredom. Every woman behaves when she's entertained, when the attention is constant, when gifts are flowing. But boredom is where true character is revealed. Does she create peace in silence? Or chaos just to feel alive? Does she practice patience or spark petty drama just to feel important again? Because the woman who can master her emotions in boredom will destroy your life when real trials come. You want a woman who brings peace, not a ticking time bomb that explodes every time life gets quiet. And now, let's destroy one of the biggest lies you've been fed your entire life, that a woman's past doesn't matter, that her body count means nothing, that you're insecure if you care. Machiavelli would laugh in your face. He said, the promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present. Men today have been fooled into believing that a woman's history doesn't affect her loyalty, but history is your only real predictor. A woman who has betrayed others before you isn't starting fresh with you. She is sharpening her knife while you look the other way. Watch her past, because it's screaming your future. The fourth commandment. Never invest in a woman whose values you do not share. You are a man with a vision, or you should be. And a man with a vision doesn't marry lust. He aligns with mission. His mission, if she mocks your discipline, if she rolls her eyes at your ambition, if she values social media more than legacy, walk away. I don't care how good she looks in that dress, or how sweet she sounds when she wants something, because the truth you refuse to swallow is this. The wrong woman will cost you your destiny, and no amount of pleasure is worth the graveyard of your potential. Now, here comes the commandment every man hates to hear, but every man must obey. If she doesn't fear losing you, she'll never value you. That's the coldest law of all. The woman who believes you'll always be there, no matter what she does, no matter how far she disrespects you, will slowly grow to despise you. Why? Because what costs nothing is worth nothing. And Machiavelli said it best. Men should be either caressed or crushed, and women, by their nature, will do the same. If she can't lose you, she'll crush you. If she fears losing you, she'll rise to meet you. Men who are feared aren't cruel. They're respected because their absence means something. So stop being so available. Stop rewarding bad behavior with more attention. Stop begging for scraps when you should be commanding loyalty. The man who's willing to walk away owns the power. Always has. Always will. It's easy to preach these truths. Living them, that's the hard part. Because to live them, you first have to kill the fool inside you, the romantic fool, the desperate fool, the boy who still believes love alone can change a woman's nature. You've been trained to think your sincerity will save you, your loyalty will change her, your devotion will make her stay. It won't. That's why so many men are broken today. Not by women, but by their own illusions about women. Machiavelli was merciless toward men who refused to face reality. Men are driven by two principal impulses, either by love or by fear. And make no mistake, fear has always held more power than love. The woman you can't walk away from is the woman who owns you, and she knows it. Watch how different a woman behaves when she knows she could lose you. Her tone softens, her loyalty sharpens, her chaos shrinks. But the man who makes himself endlessly available gets the opposite. She grows colder, bolder. She starts to test him, not because she's evil, but because female nature does not trust what it does not respect. And a man who refuses to protect his value, he's not a man worth following. So let's make this clear. The most dangerous woman in your life is the one who sees you as an emotional provider, but not as a leader. You think she loves you because she vents to you, cries on your shoulder, and tells you her fears. But ask yourself, does she follow your guidance? Does she submit to your leadership? Does she rise when you raise the standard? If not, you're not her king. You're her emotional trash can. And she'll use you until she finds a man she actually respects. Harsh? Good. Let it burn. Because that sting you feel right now, that's the pain of waking up. Most men try to negotiate respect. They try to earn it by doing more, bending further, shrinking smaller. Fools, Machiavelli warned. One who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived. You've deceived yourself long enough. Respect isn't negotiated, it's commanded. And if you have to beg for it, you've already lost it. So how do you command it? By living as though you're willing to lose her at any moment. Because the man who fears loss becomes her servant, but the man who embraces loss becomes her obsession. She'll test you. She'll push you. She'll see if you're all bark and no bite. And when that moment comes, you must bite. You must walk away. You must disappear, not to punish her, but to remind her you value yourself more than you fear her absence. Now listen carefully. This is the step most men overlook, the detail that reveals everything. Watch how she talks about men, not just her exes or her guy friends. Watch how she speaks about men in general. Does she admire masculine strength, or does she mock it? Does she respect her father, brothers, mentors, or speak with bitterness and resentment? Because here's the truth. A woman who secretly despises men will never fully submit to one. She may act sweet at first, but that bitterness always surfaces. And when it does, you'll realize too late, you married a competitor, not a companion. Machiavelli said, the promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present. Her words mean nothing if her patterns don't align. Don't marry potential. Don't invest in promises. Invest in patterns. If her life before you is chaos, it won't magically become peace with you. If she was lazy before, she won't suddenly turn disciplined beside you. You are not the exception. You're just the next fool if you ignore the signs. And here's why most men ignore them. Because deep down, you want to believe you're the one who can change her. You think your love is special. You think your patience will finally break through. You think if you stay long enough, she'll realize you're the prize. She won't. You're not her father. You're not her therapist. You're not her God. You're a man, and a man's time is his life. Every minute you waste trying to reform a woman who refuses to change is a minute stolen from your future self. Machiavelli said, the wise man does at once what the fool does finally. Every second you delay cutting ties with the wrong woman, you're living as the fool. And here's the truth. No motivational video will ever tell you. No woman on earth is your purpose. Not one. Your purpose is your mission, your discipline, your kingdom. A woman is either an asset to that mission, or a liability. Most men flip that equation. They make the woman the purpose, the center of their world, the reason they wake up in the morning. And when she senses that, she loses respect instantly. Because women don't trust men who orbit them. They trust men who orbit nothing but their mission. That's why the same woman who disrespects one man will worship another. The difference isn't her, it's his frame. Now here's your next brutal lesson. Never choose a woman who can't thrive in your absence. You want to know who she really is? Step back. Watch how she lives when you're not around. Does she collapse into chaos or rise in discipline? Does she fall apart or does she hold the line? The woman who needs constant validation, constant attention, constant babysitting, she'll be your death. But the woman who multiplies in your absence, who respects your mission even when you're not watching, that's a woman worth keeping, Machiavelli said. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. And in relationships, that means this. You must be willing to make her uncomfortable in the name of your standards. If she crosses a boundary, you call it out immediately. If she disrespects your time, you withdraw it. If she tests your strength, you show her the door. Not out of cruelty, but discipline. Because if you bend once, you'll bend forever. And she knows it. So, the next commandment, select a woman whose presence strengthens your discipline, not weakens it. The woman who encourages your laziness, who tempts you to skip the gym, who laughs when you say no to distractions, that woman is setting you up for failure. She might smile while doing it, she might call it love, but it's treason. Because a real woman, a beneficial woman, is your ally in discipline. She sharpens you, she challenges you to rise higher, she holds you to your word. She doesn't beg you to stay soft, she dares you to stay sharp. And now, to the man who's already trapped, to the one listening right now thinking, but I've already chosen wrong. It's not too late, but it will cost you everything you built around that mistake. Your pride, your time, maybe even your money. But ask yourself, what's more expensive, leaving now or dying slowly for the next 20 years? Because make no mistake, the wrong woman will drain you until there's nothing left. And when you're empty, she'll leave anyway. Nature has no sympathy for the man who refuses to lead himself. Machiavelli knew, people respect what they fear losing. If she doesn't fear losing you, it's because you've taught her you have no spine. But that changes now. You are not here to be a footnote in her story. You are here to build a kingdom. And the kingdom you build will either be strengthened or destroyed by the woman you let inside it. The problem with most modern men, that they re-weak it that they've been taught to mistake weakness for compassion. They think letting everything slide is tolerance. They think enduring disrespect is love. But Machiavelli stripped that lie bare. A prince who is not himself wise cannot be wisely advised. Meaning what? If you are weak, you will only attract voices that feed your weakness. That's why weak men always end up with chaotic women. You thought you were unlucky. You thought you kept meeting the wrong ones. No, you chose them. You invited them in. Your weakness called to their chaos, like a flame calls to moths. And now you're here, listening to this, because you're finally starting to wake up. Good, stay awake. Because this final part, this is where you become untouchable. See, once you've seen through the illusion, you can't go back. The old version of you, the one who chased, who begged, who tolerated disrespect, he's dead now. Let him rot. From this point forward, your life is ruled by principle, not emotion. Machiavelli said, men should be either caressed or annihilated, because they can avenge light injuries, but not severe ones. In other words, don't play halfway. When you cut off a toxic woman, cut her clean. Don't text her just to check. Don't stalk her socials. Don't hope she misses you. Delete, block, disappear. Because the moment you start watching her again, you've already given her power. And a man who gives away his power loses the right to call himself a king. You think she'll respect you if you stay friends? She won't. She'll use that connection to drain you again bit by bit until you rewrite back where you started. No contact isn't punishment. It's purification. And in that silence, something incredible happens. You start to remember who you were before the chaos. Your mind clears, your focus returns. Your mission sharpens. You realize it was never about her. It was always about you. Because every test she gave you, every heartbreak, every betrayal, all of it was training. She wasn't the curse. She was the mirror. She showed you exactly where you were weak, exactly what you tolerated, exactly how far you'd fallen from your standards. That's why Machiavelli warned, the first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. Apply that to your life. Your kingdom, a throne or castle, the circle you keep. If your circle is full of weak men and unstable women, your downfall is already written. But if your circle is disciplined, men of mission, women of loyalty, you can't lose. So start cutting, mercilessly. because peace isn't found by adding more people, it's found by subtracting the wrong ones. Now let's get practical. There are 3 types of women you must never let into your kingdom. 1, the performer. She's charming, magnetic, and tells you exactly what you want to hear. But everything she does is for the audience. She'll post every gift you buy her, every date you plan, every moment that should have been sacred, and when attention fades, so does her love. She doesn't want a man, she wants validation. 2, the victim. She blames everyone, her ex, her parents, society, toxic men. At first, you feel sorry for her. You think you can save her, but what you'll learn is this. The victim never wants saving. She wants control, and she gets it by making you her emotional caretaker. Soon you'll find yourself apologizing for things you didn't do, fixing problems you didn't cause, and defending her against chaos she created. 3, the competitor. She doesn't want a partner. She wants to win. She subtly undermine your authority, challenge your leadership, and resent your success, not because she hates you, but because she wants to be you. That kind of woman turns love into war, and if you stay long enough, you'll start fighting battles that can't be won. So what do you want instead? You want the complementary woman, the woman who doesn't compete with your masculinity. She amplifies it. She admires your mission. She respects your boundaries. She supports your leadership, and most importantly, she brings peace. Because peace is the true sign of compatibility. You'll know you've found the right woman when you can focus harder, work longer, and dream bigger around her. If she drains your focus, makes you anxious, or constantly pulls you off track, she's not your partner. She's your enemy in disguise. Machiavelli said, "He who becomes a prince through the favor of the people should always keep them friendly." Apply that to love. If you become a man of power, always keep peace with those who help you maintain it. A good woman will help you rule your inner world. A bad one will turn it into civil war. Now, let's be clear, this isn't about hating women. It's about understanding human nature. A kingdom ruled by emotion will always fall, but a kingdom ruled by order, reason, and self-respect, that kingdom lasts generations. So from this day forward, write this creed somewhere. You can see it every morning. I am not led by desire, nor by fear. I am guided by discipline. I protect my value, my time, and my mission. And I will never trade my crown for comfort. That's the new you. The man who leads himself first. The man who commands respect by existing. The man who understands that love without boundaries becomes slavery. Because when you master yourself, truly master yourself, you don't chase women, you choose them. And when you finally choose from strength instead of loneliness, you stop living like a boy chasing affection, and start ruling like a man building legacy. Machiavelli would have called that the art of power, but you'll know it as something simpler, freedom.